Welcome to Matchday Live, where the team return to Elland Road looking to extend their 7-game unbeaten run and secure the 3 points against Plymouth. In the studio with us we have Stuart and Ilia Gruev, who has managed to navigate his way to the studio despite your injury. So, thank you, round of applause for that. How are you doing? How are you coping?
First of all, thanks for having me. I'm good, I'm feeling better. Of course it was a little bit of a sad moment for me, my first bigger injury. But yeah, now I'm looking forward to come back as soon as possible, and yeah, today I take my crutches off and my brace, so it's good that I can walk again by myself. Yeah.
Amazing. And how do you cope mentally with that? You know, because like you say, being injured, especially when the team are doing well, there must be an element of frustration there for you.
Yeah, it was a big frustration because at the beginning I didn't know how long I'm going to be out, and of course as a player you hope that it's going to be a short time, but then when you speak with the doctors and all the medical stuff, and you know it's going to take you about a couple of months, then it's a hard moment, it's a tough moment, but it's football, you have to deal with it, and yeah, it was tough for me, but yeah, I try to forget it and to look into the future.
And how is it, Illia, you know, seeing the team doing well? For you, obviously, you know, you'll want to be out there, but are you still enjoying watching and supporting your teammates as well?
Of course. Also, we have a group where I always, where we always speak, and also every day at the training ground. And it's important as a team that we have success. That's the most important thing at the end. And all 20 players who are in the squad are a very important member of the squad, and we all know that. And so every week I'm hoping that we win 3 points. So every third day I hope that we win 3 points, and of course, and help the teammates wherever I can at the moment.
Well, you're sitting next to a man who knows exactly that feeling, don't you, Stuart?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I know the frustration that he's gone through. You know, when you have an injury, and he touched on it there, where he said, you know, the doctors and the physios then tell him that he's out for a couple of months. So I know the frustration that he's going through, but I also know Illia. I know how driven he is, how hard he works. You know, many a day I spent in the gym, and I used to see him. We were talking off air about how he used to come in after training and, you know, do his gym stuff, and so I think mentally he'll be in the right place. Obviously it's disappointing that he's out for so long, but I just wanted to ask Illia about, obviously, you know, whenever I first got injured, straight away I wanted to come into the training ground right away, just to be around the boys. Yeah. And how have you dealt with that since the injury? Did you want to be in straight away? Did you want time off?
Yeah, so after my injury, and then I got the surgery in London, and I needed, to be honest, like 10 days. I want to be at home. I flew to Sofia to my family, because also the first 2 weeks you can't do anything. You're on the crutches. You can't touch with the right foot the bottom. You can't do anything. You rely on other person. So yeah, even my mom or my sister or my girlfriend, they have to bring me a plate, or I have to do everything for me, which is sad, but that's good that I have this kind of family which always supports and helps me. And yeah, so it was mentally, I think, also important for me to go also to Sofia, to my hometown, and it was sunny, to be there with friends and family. It's the first time that I'm in October to have like 10 days for me, so was okay. Yeah, I tried to my head was a little bit like not gone, but it was tough, and it helped me a lot to be with the family and with my friends. And yeah, then obviously after 2 weeks I also want to, okay, let's go back and let's work hard now, and be with the players. I also of course miss the players. I miss this, you know, this every day to talk with the guys, to make jokes, to be around them, and I missed it, even it was only 10 days.
Well, I used to moan to get through sessions, so I was asking Ruben, do you moan? He said, you haven't started moaning yet, but that was my coping mechanism to get through hard times. So if in doubt, just moan, and you'll be all right. Yeah.
And what have you made to the start to the season, Illia?
I think we have a decent start. I think everybody knows what we are capable of, and I think we have to show it now in 46 games. It's a long race. We're in a very good position right now, and if we still improve like we improve, I think it's going to be a very successful season this year.
Well, so far so good. I mean, Stuart, just one for you, Plymouth. They've only picked up 1 point on the road so far this season. What sort of game are you expecting today? Because, like we'll hear from Daniel Farke shortly, they can't be underestimated, can they?
No, they can't, and no team ever can be in the Championship. But I think when you look at the team news that has come through, I expect them to come and sit very deep. I think that they'll try and stay in the game for as long as they can, possibly bring on more attacking players as the game goes on if they are still in the game. But I think, to be honest, looking at their team, they have one eye on midweek and next weekend. They'll view them games, without being disrespectful, I think they'll view them games that they could possibly pick up points. I think they'll know coming here today is a tough challenge when they have a full team. They've got some injuries, we know that, but they haven't really put any attacking players in the team today, so I think it's going to be a difficult.
Yeah, I was going to say that, when you look at their team, it looks like they're going for a defensive approach, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going very defensive. I think at times you'll see them drop into the back six, because the two lads that we think will play in wide positions are a defensive midfielder and a wing back. So I suspect that they'll drop into the back six. They'll try and frustrate Leeds, try and make it as difficult as possible. So Leeds are going to have a lot of the ball, but I've watched Plymouth a bit, and they turn the ball over quite a lot. There's big gaps in the team, so I think they'll try and be really compact today with that midfield and their back line, and try and frustrate Leeds as the game goes on. I think Leeds will start to dominate and hopefully come away winners.
And just very quickly on Leeds United's team news, just one change. Jaden Bogle obviously suspended, Firpo's back from suspension, and Sam Byron we know is going to move to right back. Kind of to be expected, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly what we expected, but I think I'm glad that Sam is moving over to the right side now. Junior back in. Obviously Junior has been brilliant this season going forward. I think we missed him a little bit last week in terms of creativity. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back in today.
Well, let's get the thoughts of one of those starting 11, shall we? Here's Joel Piroe.
Well, Joel, back at Elland Road today. Looking forward to the game?
Yes, very much. Very much.
What's the mood in the group going into this one?
Well, we're very determined to get a win in today, and we're looking forward to it.
Plymouth have not started well away from home in particular, just the 1 point so far. Are you happy about that, worried about that?
Well, to be honest, I think it doesn't really matter. This is our home, and we just play our game like we always do, and we just want the 3 points.
Are you happy with the form in the group at the moment? Are the players happy with the way things are going at the moment?
Yes, definitely, and we want to continue being unbeaten and get just another win in as well.
A man of few words there, isn't he, Joel Piroe? But look, it's currently 7 unbeaten, Stuart. How are you viewing the current form and performances that you're seeing week in, week out?
I think it's been really good. I think it's been really positive. Obviously the draw last week away to Bristol City, I know fans will look at it and go, well, Leeds should be going and getting the result. But when you take the week on whole that they had, 7 points in a week, if you can get 7 points every 3 games, you'll get promoted. There's no doubt about that. So I think the manager will be really happy. Maybe Illia can give us a bit of insight into how he has been. But having worked with him himself, I know that he'll look at last week's performance as a good point on the road. Yeah,
that is a good point actually, Stuart. What is Daniel Farke like? How does he reflect after performances like these that we've seen recently, Illia?
Yes, I think he's very rational. He has a bigger picture. He's not only looking at this one game. Of course, we know that we have the quality to win every game, and that's also the goal for every game. But I think with a lot of games, and Bristol is a difficult away game. I remember last year we won there, but it was a tough one. So yeah, I think it's a good point on the road. And now this week with 3 games, I think we have very good chances. To go for 3 wins, of course. Even if it's 7 points, would be okay. It would be a good result. So we have always to see a bigger picture, I think. And normally, if you have an average of 2, normally at least you will be top 2 or top 3 then.
Home form as well, Illia, has been strong, hasn't it? What is the key to keeping this place a fortress here at Elland Road?
To be honest, I love always to play here at home with the fans, and they push you, and I think you can see also a big difference when we play here at home. the atmosphere. It's always nice, and also there is a way of pressure, but it's a good pressure. It's that you feel that you play for a big club, and yeah, this pushes you and it improves your performance.
You know that feeling, don't you, Stuart?
Yeah, of course. I think what's key for Leeds is to keep this place a fortress, is to play with an intensity. I always say that when I come here as an opposition player with Brentford many years ago, as an opposition player coming here, you want every break in play. You want the ball to go out so you can get a break. So it's important that Leeds play with an intensity, you know, and try and smother the opposition. Try and make it feel like when the ball goes out of play, there's a ball straight on the pitch, and play fast. And we've seen that with the Watford game. You know, we've seen them. They started really well, got 2 early goals, and then they sort of dropped off a little bit. Obviously, give Watford credit. They started being a bit braver, but I think that's key. Just starting the game really well and playing with an intensity that the teams can't deal with, because we know we've got the quality to win games.
Absolutely. And Illia, how is the balance struck between defence and attack? So is it defence first, or is it focus on attack?
I think the defense wins you the league, and at the moment we have very good defense. You can see how many clean sheets Elan has, so it's very important, because if you don't concede you can't lose. And also with our players up front, they always can score, so I think you have to recognize that we're doing great job defensively, like the whole team, not only the 4 in the back, the whole team. And I think this is very important, because clean sheets is always, at least it's a draw.
That's true. And in terms of the squad, you know, you seem like quite a tight group. Is that important for you in terms of how you're playing?
Yes, it's very important. The lads are, like, I love to go every day to the locker room. It's a very good atmosphere, but also not to, like, how to say it, like, to have too much fun. You have also to know when you have to perform. When you go outside the pitch, there's no fun anymore. It's hard work, or also in the gym. So this is important, but when you're in the locker room then, and between the sessions, it's nice that you have fun there, you can laugh, and everybody's enjoying it, and you have a great atmosphere, which I think you can also see then on the pitch.
Oh, you absolutely can. And actually, Stuart was talking to us earlier off air about how disciplined you are as a player, weren't you? You were saying, you know, you're so disciplined, and you're so, you know, you really truly look after yourself, and you take a lot of pride in what you do. And that's reflected, isn't it, Stuart? We see that in performances.
Yeah, of course it is. And listen, I think if more players were like Illia, you know, they would be in a better place. But he is very disciplined. I noticed that as soon as he come into the club, I knew straight away how disciplined he was. And I think at the start, obviously as well, you found it maybe a bit difficult, as anybody would, moving away from you know, your friends and family, moving over, and maybe the physicality of the league, and that was something I'm always curious as to what level the championship is at in terms of comparing to other leagues. You know, obviously you played in the Bundesliga. How would you compare the championship to the Bundesliga in terms of, you know, intensity, quality, physicality?
Yeah, it's a way different style of football. I think in the Bundesliga it's more tactical, and here it's more left, right, left, right, left, right. In the Bundesliga sometimes more the ball is in the middle and not so many goal chances. And here it's the whole game, like, up and down. Our game's not so much, which also we want like this. We don't want to have these wild games, because we want to dictate the game and have the ball, and don't the opponents don't have any chances. But I think this is a big difference between the Bundesliga and the Championship.
So basically we want to get to the Premier League.
Of course.
That's the goal, isn't it? Well, look, it's 3 goals and 1 assist so far this season from Brendan Aronson, and the attacker has nailed down his place in the starting 11 and has been speaking to LUTV about how much he's loving his football now.
Well, Brendan, after a really busy week, you know, with 2 home games and a tough one on the road, but picking up 7 points, what's the mood in the squad now ahead of this return to Elland Road against Plymouth?
Yeah, the mood's very high. I think that we're all really looking forward to getting back to Elland Road and having a full week, you know, kind of to be able to relax the body and focus on training and focus on the things we want to do. So, yeah, we're really excited to get back at home this weekend.
And what do you take from a week where you pick up 3 very positive results?
Yeah, confidence for sure. I think that's the number one thing that comes to my mind is confidence. And, I think we're playing at a really high level at the moment, and we got to keep going like this and continue to get better and better, and I'm sure we will.
How do you maintain that consistency over, you know, we've played a lot of games already, but there is a long way to go, isn't there? So what's
Yeah.
the key to staying consistent and keeping on picking up results?
I think first thing that comes to my mind is just staying healthy. I think guys have to stay focused on staying as healthy as they can. You know, it's a long season, a lot of games, international breaks, all these types of things. So I think the number one thing is staying healthy, and then, yeah, whenever we have days of training, whenever we have weeks of training, focusing on what we can get better on, and yeah, from game to game, just, I always say it, but getting better and better.
Helps when you've got a squad as talented as this, though, isn't it? Because you've had key injuries to players,
Yeah.
but you see who's coming off the bench, you see who's stepped in and done really well. That's a major asset for us, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think the depth that we have in the team is huge, and that's what we need, because there's going to be injuries, there's going to be things that we can't, get away from, but the way that we've rebounded off of losing guys has been top.
And how are you feeling so far?
Really good, really good. I'm feeling very confident, very happy. I'm just enjoying the football at the moment, and yeah, I just want to keep going like this, scoring goals, getting assists, and yeah, just playing at a top level.
Well, what's been the biggest challenge of maybe the championship football for you, Brendan?
I would say at first I think it was physicality and the athleticism of the league. I feel like I've adapted well. I've focused well on what I need to work on, like in the off season, lifting, work on my technical ability. That's always something that I can get better at, because I'm a attacking midfielder. And yeah, just focusing on goals and assists, getting in the box, just playing the right passes, and I think that's something that I've just continue to work on. And
it feels like not only you but the rest of the team, the more you play together, we can kind of see those rotations, that fluidity in your play. Do you feel that's getting stronger?
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, even when we lose guys, they come in and it's easy flowing game already again, because we all want to play the same way. We all kind of have the same style of play, so it's really good, and I'm really happy with how the team is.
And this week ahead, it's 3 more games before another international break. So what's the target?
3 more games, 9 points. That's always the goal, is to win all 3 games and win as many games as we can.
And Plymouth are here at Elland Road, but you must feel very confident at Elland Road at the moment.
Yeah, very confident at Elland Road at the moment. I mean, the fans have been great. The support has been amazing. So we need to keep doing that, and just be focused, because every game's tough in the championship. Every game, the other team's going to come out and play hard against us. So we got to be ready to match the physicality and the work rate, and then I think our quality will show through.
He's so full of confidence, isn't he? Which is great to see for Brendan, Stuart. But what are his key attributes, do you think?
I think Brendan's probably one of the best players in the squad at receiving the ball in the half turn. He's so good at getting out of tricky situations and finding the pass. He's always looking to play forward. So I'm delighted that he's come back in, and he's 3 goals, 1 assist this season, which is I think that's huge. Whenever you play in that, you've got to be producing numbers, and I think as the season goes on, he'll start to produce more. How
important is that rotation that we've seen with the attacking players?
Yeah, it's vitally important that there's always movement. I think it causes chaos for opposition defenders because they don't know what to do. But I think you see it a lot when Nanto's playing on the right and he's coming inside. You see Brenton tend to drift out there as well at times. So they seem to have a really good understanding, especially them two, I believe, and I think that's key.
Illia, you were saying earlier, that you really look forward to going and mixing with the squad and with your teammates. What kind of character is Brendan in and amongst you all?
Brendan is a very nice guy, a lovely guy, good jokes, always talking. He lives only 5 minutes away from my place. So yeah, we often drive together to the training ground, he's very nice. Also, he played in the Bundesliga last season for Union Berlin. So yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about.
And just in terms of that midfield as well, we are going to let you go shortly because I know you've got to get over to your seat and watch the game, Illia. But it's been getting a lot of praise, haven't they, Tanaka and Rothwell? What have you made of them?
I think they're doing great, especially Ao, because he came so late, and to adapt so quick to the championship and to our way of football we play. It's really good, it's amazing, and I hope they both continue like they're playing at the moment, because it's very important for the team to have a good midfield. And of course at the moment me and Ampa, we can't play, which is very sad, but they do it amazing, and they have to, if they go like this, it helps the team and it helps everybody, and I can praise them only at the moment.
And I think that's key, is having that depth. I know, speaking obviously from experience, from when we got promoted, we had strength and depth and quality, and obviously we've seen, you probably would have looked at the team and thought, we can't lose Illia or Ethan, and then as luck has it, we lose them both in sort of 1 week.
Yes,
the two of these got injured, so
yeah.
you know, then we're looking at the midfield thinking, you know, how is Joe and Tanaka going to play together, but they've been absolutely brilliant, and I know Illia, you know, you'll be delighted that they've fitted in there, and you know, I'm excited to see Illia and Ethan both coming back and seeing how they all can you know, play together. Obviously they can't all play together in one team. Somebody's gonna have to be on the bench, but you know, I think it's great that there's that depth in the squad.
And we always talk about healthy competition, how important that is. But for you, did you sort of embrace them and want to ensure that they felt settled within the championship and at Leeds as well?
Of course, I help them wherever I can. I don't see it like that we play on the same position and of course everybody wants to play, but we're a team and we have one big goal, and at the end people are only going to remember us if we got promoted, and this is the most important thing. And if you play 20 games or 30 games or 5 games, it doesn't matter at this moment, because you have a bigger goal.
Absolutely. Well, look, Illia, we are going to let you go and find your seat. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with your recovery. Let's get the thoughts now of the boss, Daniel Farke.
He's so important also with his experience in the squad and his quality, also on the training pitch and the dressing room, and whenever I need a player, if it's left back, if it's a right back, even a centre back, I would even pick him sometimes in midfield, so he can play wherever I need him. And I think for that he was not in his full rhythm, really solid performance as a left back. So he had everything under control in terms of defense. Yes, in going forward, of course, and junior football in his full rhythm is a bit more flying, but normally Sam was also involved in good situations, and if Matteo scores a header, then he would be there with a really good assist already. So overall, I think it was a quite solid performance. We knew that he would be a top character, but he has more or less fulfilled not just all the expectations. I think he has overfilled them. So he's unbelievable. Also, since he arrived, he joined us in each every team training, so not one problem, and we have sometimes really tough sessions also, like for a player who was not in team training for a few months, it's sometimes difficult, but he's so professional also, like how he prepares for training, how he works also after training to look after himself in the gym, and super professional player, unbelievable character, and really good player, and he leads by example also, like what it means to be a professional. It's definitely good to have him around, and I spoke about his language skills as well. It's also important for the group. So it was definitely a good choice to add him to the squad. First of all, we have to repeat again our really good defensive behavior and the controlling of all the counterattacks. Yes, on the other side, we also want to create chances also to be a bit more effective in using them. And I'm still very respectful, I have to say, so because once we prepare for opponent, we normally have a deeper look into more or less into the last 8 games, and if you analyze more or less last eight games of Plymouth, you have to say they have shown both faces. A bit in the away games, they've lost 4 games, but in the home games they were unbeaten and won 10 points out of these 4 games, and against really good sides. And I think it always depends on how much you make sure that you make out of this game your game and not their game. Because if you allow them to play football, it's a really good football side. They play brave and with courage. And if you allow them to develop their game, they can be dangerous. Wayne was a world-class player and has experienced everything as a player, and it's quite normal that a lot of attention is always on them, a lot of spotlight, and then you, of course, polarize always. But he has meanwhile also some experience as a manager, although he's still a young manager. But he has so much experience, especially as a player also in the game, and he's also the type who will never crack under pressure, and is also used to be in the spotlight and to handle expectation. This is also what you have to do as a manager, and you can see also this handwriting in his team. So his teams never just try to park the bus and just go for long balls and second balls. They try to play football, and this is something what I really like. Also Plymouth, they are quite often really brave and go for the game, and especially in the home games, we're able to play effective in order to use their chances. They have good offensive options, have players who can score goals. good striker. Spitteker, obviously also a key player, not just in this year, but also in the last seasons for them. So they have some really threats up front. So it's important that we won't allow them to make out of their game, to play with confidence and to play also good possession football. We have to make sure that we explore a bit, also that they have to defend. And on this topic, we want to concentrate that we dominate the game as much as possible. But if you allow a Rooney side to play football, then this side can hurt you.
Daniel Farke there, expressing his respect for today's opposition, but what's going to be key, Stuart, to breaking this Plymouth side down today?
I think patience. I fully expect them to come and play like a 4-5-1, but as I said before, they'll drop into the back six. Just try and frustrate. So it's important that our lads don't get frustrated and start doing their own thing. Just continue believing in what the manager has trained.
I was going to ask you that. It must be frustrating though when teams do that here.
It is, yeah, and the majority of teams will come here and do that. Plymouth are obviously, I think, with all due respect, I think their expectations this season will be just to survive. I do, looking at the team, as I said before, think that they have their eye on next week, during the week and the following week. So I think they'll just try and frustrate Leeds today, and it's important our lads don't get frustrated. It's important they don't disappoint, because they've got to take the game to them, and they will do that. If they get a goal, it could be a long afternoon.
Well, yeah, it's also really important that we don't take the game for granted, isn't it?
Absolutely, of course. I think we've seen that in previous years gone by, where teams have come here and taken points off us. But I think the boys know the job on hand today.
Well, look, we can see the teams heading out there. So, one final question, Stuart, the all-important one. Your score prediction, please.
I'm going to put my neck in the line. I'm going to go 4-0.
Oh, that is bold. I like it.
It is.
Okay, well, kick-off is imminent here at Elland Road, so it's time to hand you over to your commentary team for this afternoon. Here's Tony Dorigo and Bryn Law.
Thanks very much, Emma. Thanks very much, Stuart. And thanks very much, Ilia Gruev. Good to hear Illia in the studio. We'd much prefer to see him out on the green stuff. Hopefully, we'll see that maybe even before the end of this season. But we have to concentrate and focus on the matter here in hand first. Leeds United